Hello, differential equations. I saw Corbin ask how to do a direction field by hand. So let's go back to activity 221, part D, and we'll do it the old-fashioned way. So here, the easiest slopes to draw are the ones that are 0. So in this case, y prime, so change in y is 0 when x equals y. So that means here, let's do different colors here. So that means when x equals y, you've got these arrows here. I should not have drawn those arrows heads because x prime is x plus y. So in this case, it's going to be going positive because x and y are positive. Whereas here, it's going to be going negative because x and y are both negative. So a negative plus a negative is a negative. So then it's going to be going that way. Okay, so that's basically doing a null line. Then the other lines, so when, say, x equals negative y, then x prime will be 0. So for instance, when x is 1 and y is negative 1, 1 minus negative 1 is 2, so it's going up. So it's going straight up there, straight up there, straight up there, straight up there. And then here, when x is negative 1 and y is negative 1, it'll be negative 2. So it'll be going down there, down there, down there, down there. Okay. Now, let's fill in the rest of these. So for instance, here, when this is when x is 1 and y is 0, then you've got y prime is 1 and x prime is 1. So basically, all along here, whenever y is 0, x prime and y prime will both be x. So they'll both be 1. So the slope will be going, slope of 1 there. And then here, when x is negative 1, then x prime will be negative and y prime will be negative. And so it would be, so it's be going, the slope is 1, but it's moving towards negative x's and negative y's. Okay, and then here we've got slope is going to kind of be in between, basically. Let's just do this one here. So when x is 1, and x is 2, and y is 1, then x prime is 3, y prime is 1, so 3. That's probably should have been a little steeper. And then when x is negative 1, and x is 2, and y is negative 1, x prime is 1, y prime is, no, so that would be 1/3 here, and 3 here. Similarly, you'll have, and then at some point when you have some really steep slopes, you just draw really steep lines. So, and then shallower lines. And then steeper lines here, and shallower lines here. Okay. All right, that makes us like 1/4 done. This takes forever. Now, this makes me think of a Jim Gaffigan joke where he said something to the effect of like, I was at this hotel room and I had to put a DVD into the DVD player. Like get off my bed and put the DVD into the DVD player and go back to my bed like a pioneer. So here we are doing a slope field like a pioneer. So here we've got a steeper slope, shallower slope, steeper slope, steeper slope, shallower slope, shallower slope, and then steeper slope, steeper slope, steeper slope, shallower slope, shallower slope, shallower slope. What about when y is 1 and x is 0? When y is 1 and x is 0, then x prime is 1 and y prime is -1. So it's a -1 slope, and it's x prime is 1, so it's moving in the positive x direction. And so then I'll get, these slopes will be then -1 and then -2, -3, and so on. Oh, too steep for -2. -3, -4, that's probably not steep enough for -4. And then going here, it gets shallower there and steeper there. And very steep, not quite as steep, -1, a little shallower, and then very steep and not quite as steep and not quite as steep, and then -1, and then a little shallower, and a little shallower, and a little shallower. And then here, say when x is 0 and y is -1, and x is -1 and y is +1. And x is 0, y is -1. So x prime is -1 and y prime. So it's basically a negative slope going that way. Right? Okay, because it's, yeah, okay. So then similarly, a little bit steeper, a little steeper, a little steeper, and then we gotta make it a little steeper here, a little shallower here, and then a little steeper there, a little shallower there, a little shallower, come on. And then a little steeper, a little steeper, a little steeper, a little shallower, a little shallower. That's not shallower at all. Yikes. A little shallower. Mess that one up. Okay, that looks almost like the one the computer drew in some ways, if you squint really hard. So that's an example of plotting a slope field by hand.